What is the year of your birth?
1961.
Describe your race or ethnicity.
Caucasian.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I do. 2.
Okay. From what country or countries were your ancestors located?
The best that I know, I would have to say Germany and Ireland.
Okay. In what city, part of the state, and country did you spend your formative years?
I'm originally from New Jersey.
Okay. Where in New Jersey?
Monmouth County, Central East Coast, Springsteen territory.
Okay. Did you live in an urban, suburban, or rural area?
I would say suburban.
Okay. Where do you live now?
I live on Johns Island in South Carolina.
How long have you lived there?
I think like about 6 years.
Would you classify it as urban, suburban, or rural?
Close to rural, suburban.
Where have you lived the longest?
I lived in New Jersey the longest.
How long did you live there?
Till 1992.
Have you ever lived in another country?
No, I have not.
Do you speak any other languages or dialects?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. What economic class would you consider your parents to be in? Lower, middle, upper?
Middle.
What about yourself?
Middle.
Okay. To you, what is nature or the natural world?
I'm sorry?
What is nature or the natural world to you?
I don't understand.
What is nature?
What is nature? All beautiful things that are alive.
Okay. Were your parents' livelihoods or interests somehow connected to working with or in nature?
No.
Is your livelihood or interest somehow connected to or working with nature?
Definitely.
How so?
I'm a chef. I cook nature.
Okay. Are your children's livelihoods or interests somehow connected to or working with nature?
Yes.
How so?
My son works at a market, and just my son.
Okay. As a child, how much free time did you prefer to spend outside? Either as little as possible, some, or you preferred to be outside?
I was outside as often as possible if I wasn't sleeping.
What about now? How much do you like to be outside?
As often as possible.
Okay, what things do you do to connect to the natural world?
Not enough.
Okay. Any examples of things that you do?
I just try to be outside and enjoy life.
Okay, can you list your outdoor activities over the past year?
Swimming, walking. About it.
How have you learned about nature? And is there anything in your background that makes you knowledgeable or that makes you not very knowledgeable about nature?
Being a chef, I've learned a lot of different things about growing things, how things grow, how process of growth affect produce and trees and cows and pigs and everything that walks on floor as well as too. The environment effects on nature, how the terrible things we do as humans in our world, how that affects nature, and it directly affects my livelihood because of pollutants and of all different things that affect, for instance, fish in the ocean, different runoffs that affect livestock as well as produce.
Okay. How's your heritage, culture, or way of life influenced your view of nature?
Definitely.
Also,
Well, because of what I do for a profession, it directly affects it totally.
okay. How is nature important to you? And do you think that in your lifetime some elements of nature will be lost?
Yes, I believe they will be, especially in our oceans. I'm not so sure about basic things that we eat presently, but I'm sure some of the specialty things that are rare will be lost.
Will that loss affect you?
Definitely.
Have you seen any changes in language or dialect over the years? Like languages or dialects no longer in use or whose meaning is lost?
Older languages possibly, but the fact that many people, probably because of our global connections, there's a lot more diversity with language.
Okay, can you name and explain any natural objects or local places in the natural world that hold some special meaning or significance to you?
Surely, skiing at the top of a mountain and appreciating that, being in the ocean and seeing dolphins jumping out of the water, playing golf and seeing birds flying and rabbits running across the field. A whole lot of stuff.
Do you feel that knowing the names of objects in the natural world, such as the names of insects or trees, changes your observation and or your enjoyment or use of them?
Knowing the names of them? It just makes me less ignorant when I do know them, and when I don't, I feel at a loss.
Have you ever or do you now gather any product from nature for food, medicine, fuel, art, hobby, or sport?
I love to grow herbs and really enjoy the usage of them.
Has your family passed on any sayings about nature, or do you remember any sayings that others have told you?
Nothing that I can think of at the moment.
Okay, last one. Do you see a link between maintaining your way of life and maintaining the natural world?
Definitely.
Can you tell me more about that?
Well, based on my profession, I have a natural desire to make sure all the things that we have on this earth continue to be here, and actively work with others in trying to preserve that.
Okay, thank you.